What's up, Buttercup? Welcome back to my channel. Today's nonfiction book review is Dear Writer, Are You Intuitive? By Becca Syme and Susan Bischoff. It's a perfect 5 stars. Usually I don't rate nonfiction books, but this book changed my writing life. I'm going to do a review and a lengthy discussion in this video with background on myself and one book in particular that I'm still struggling with. But it's important to understand my situation and how I feel about this book personally so you can possibly pick up this book so it can help you with your writing process as a possible intuitive writer. The overview is simple, but I think unique because lots of writers have been told to get away from intuitive and discovery writing somewhat lately. I think Becca says it best in the summary, so I'll just read the back of the book, which, by the way, the cover is great. It shows exactly what this book is all about. There's no lying with the title, with the cover, with the subtitle, with the blurb. On point. This is really me. This is why I'm like, oh my god, I should have picked this up sooner. But we're talking about it. So, when you just know how a story should go, when you have a feeling about how ads should run, when you get overwhelmed by columns of data or the idea of running numbers, those are all types of intuition. Intuition, commonly misunderstood as being driven by emotion, is actually a quick ability to pattern read and is based in information gathering that's done so fast you're not even aware you're doing it. But if you're intuitive about certain things only, or about everything, you can't use concrete or linear decision-making strategies. You might not be able to outline. You might not be able to plan in concrete terms. You might not be able to run those numbers. So what does that mean for you? How do you go about understanding the intuitive brain you have? This book is written by 2 coaches who have worked with thousands of writers, many of whom are intuitive in some way. Because we've noticed patterns in how these authors make decisions and in how process can work in an intuitive way, we wanted to share this book with you. When you just know and no one trusts that, you learn not to trust it. We're here to help save your intuition from a world that doesn't understand it, to help you wield this superpower. Yes, indeed. We're gonna talk about that. Oh yes. If that sounds like you, I think you should pick this up right now because it's life-changing. But if you are still hesitant, let's talk about yours truly. Now, I was told by at least a dozen different writers for many years that what I was doing, not outlining, and going by emotion and intuition, was wrong. And I could be producing more books. I could be marketing way better. I could be doing this, and that. And I need to outline. You must outline. If you outline, then you are guaranteed to fill in the blank. Okay. Though I am an emotional and sensitive person, I also really am interested in testing things out, right? So in the beginning of 2024, I tried outlining with Midnight Murders, and it was fine up until I hit the middle, and goodbye, productivity, okay? It was all there in my notebook, right? So why can't I sit my butt down and just write out the outline? Like it's there. Why can't I fill in the middle? I don't know. I still actually don't know. I'm working on figuring out why. I have some ideas, but you know, I digress. So I was trying to figure out what went wrong, and so I picked up the book, The Survival Kit for Writers Who Don't Write, which is actually pretty similar to Becca's book, but it's a little different and it's way shorter and it doesn't really talk about intuition and how you work with it. But it worked in some ways because I got to 8,000 words in 1 week because I started from the end and I was trying to write from the end to the middle and then, you know, finish the manuscript because I was stuck with the middle. the beginning's always easy for me, right? It's usually the middle that's a pain in the butt. So in the survival kit for writers who don't write, say that 5 times fast, I do not want to. It was really try something new, try many things that you haven't done before. So it was starting from the end and writing all those end scenes and then trying to, you know, get to the middle, finish the manuscript. I was like, okay, this is great. 8K, we're going, oh no, we're not. Oh no, what happened? We're stuck again. No! And I was very upset with myself. I wasn't upset with Midnight Murders, wasn't upset with anyone else. I was like, girl, what are we doing here? I don't know, actually. I don't know. So finally, after seeing this book around, I've seen this book around and it was in the back of my head. I put it on my TBR on Goodreads, and I even bought it months ago. So my intuition, I'm not listening to my intuition. My intuition said, buy this book, put it on your TBR, you need to read it. I held off for a good 5 months. I'm not going to beat myself up, okay? I finally picked up the book about a month ago as of this video because I was at a loss. I was slightly defeated, okay? And also because I still have Midnight Murders on pre-order, and I don't want to lose my pre-orders. I don't want to disappoint the readers that have pre-ordered. They're really excited for the 3rd book in the Midnight Detective Agency. Oh my god, pressure, 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 which that's probably a factor in the roadblock right now. One of many. Not just one, but one of many. As I'm struggling, Midnight Murders is sitting on my computer over there, just staring at me. Haunting me in some ways. I can't even open it up, okay? It's not the best year for writing, but we're just gonna move on. And at this point, I'm desperate to figure out what's going on. Intuitively, like I said, I picked this book up before. I held off reading it. I didn't listen to my own damn self. But this book got to me because in the blurb, like I read, in the blurb, it outright says, when you just know how a story should go. And also, my very well-known reply to most writing questions that you have heard if you've watched my other videos before. I don't know, I just write. Yeah, those two are very much me. And even 5 chapters in, my writing world changed. The end of this book, I got to the end of this book and I cried happy tears. But really in actuality, my world changed. It just went back to me not outlining. But I needed the push forwards, being an emotionally and intuitive writer that previously wrote and published 4 chapbooks, 3 standalone novels, and the first 2 books in this urban fantasy mystery series. I have a track record of writing and publishing and marketing books without outlining, without spreadsheets, without Excel, without any of that stuff. I just feel it. And yes, I will look at the data, I know how to look at Amazon ads and fix it, but there are times where I can't tell you what's wrong, but when I fix something and then I get sales from those Amazon ads, oh, well, that worked. Can I tell you exactly why? No, but I just know by looking at that data, which Becca goes into, by the way. Intuitive writer does not mean you're an annoying, pretentious, asshole writer or artist. Intuitive writing is, like Becca said in the blurb, that you're gathering information so much that it's there, it's in your noggin, and you've processed that already. And so you just need, in some ways, to hone in on the intuition and then write it out or think it out and you can't necessarily say what's going on. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can. It really depends on the writer. But you just know. It's there in your brain, and you know what's going on, but you can't articulate it. And I think that's what throws a lot of people off, especially when I say, I don't know, I just write. And they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, I just sit down and then I write, you know, chapter 12, and it's 2,000 words. Did you plan it out? My brain did. Consciously, I'm not writing out an outline in any detail whatsoever. I don't have an outline. I'm just tippity tapping on the keyboard and just letting the subconscious come into the consciousness and then go right onto my Scrivener page. So I have an authortuber section, like this is an authortuber video, but I'm mainly booktube. And I've said many, many times, I'm not a full-on authortuber because I'm so intuitive and emotional that my advice is, I don't know, I just write. And how helpful is that? For some people, like you, watching this video because you're thinking that you're an intuitive writer, or maybe you just need like more information, then it works. But I'm not putting out 5 tips to whatever, write something. I don't know. I just write. That's why I'm mainly booktube. But I'm here. I am here because this book is really important. Anyway, what this book also reminded me of was the fact that those writers don't matter to me in my writing process, and they don't get to dictate how I write and publish and market. That sounds mean, but it's not mean. I'm not going out of my way to say you must do this, you need to do this. If you do XYZ, I guarantee you you need to stay away, honestly, from those types of people. How many times have I said on here, I can't tell you what to do, you need to figure it out on your own. And that sucks sometimes. This whole year, for me personally, if I just did an outline, if I never created that outline, I could possibly have already finished Midnight Murders, but I'm still stuck. And it's with my editor. And I'm now on the editing mode phase because creative mode phase is tripping me up. So I'm thinking intuitively. I cannot think of this as creative, as doing a first draft. I am now in editing phase because something's going on with the creative side. I need to be more analytical with Midnight Murders and that stuck middle, because I don't know what happened. I have lots of hypotheses, and they could be all true, but I can't get to it creatively. I need to wait for my editor, and I will piece together everything and then get to the, first draft, because I'm not even saying that I finished this book because there's a whole chunk missing. But I just threw it at my editor and I was like, oh, what happened? I don't know. Can you help? And that is me saying, I know something's up with me and this novel. Doesn't mean that I'm getting rid of it. Absolutely not. They almost always fix something. There's at a certain point where, is it worth your time, energy, money? This is. It's not even 35,000 words. It's going to be fine. I know that it's going to be fine, but I need help. And there comes a point where you have to think about what's going on in your writing journey, and is it fulfilling? Are you happy? Are you not happy? Are you stuck? And sometimes outside help, different opinions need to come in, but that's going to be up to you. So it took me most of 2024 to figure this out, as in, don't outline, girl. You're going to mess your whole brain up if you outline. It's okay. You know, it's a learning experience. I learned, I just can't outline. I think it's because I have fun discovering it and I know where the book is going. So the discovery from my subconscious to my conscious, I'm discovering something that was already in my brain, but now it's on the page and now other people are going to discover it when, you know, I publish it. So it's way more fun for me to just see how it goes. And I know a lot of people that stresses them out. So even intuitive writers, there are a lot of intuitive writers that do basic outlines. Seems like I can't do any sort of outline. But Becca goes over all the different types of intuitive writers and just all the things you can think about regarding intuition. So I really suggest you pick up this book because you probably aren't like me. You're like yourself. And I think this book will really help you dig into the core of your writing journey if you're stuck and you think that you might be an intuitive writer. But like I was saying, it took me most of 2024 to figure out that it's okay to be yourself. Maybe if I worked on outlining for like 10 years or something, then I could write a bunch of books a year. But I would say probably not. And though I have said in a few videos that I'm an intuitive discovery writer, as of now, I'm actually not even going to label myself that much. I'm simply a writer. And you're a writer too. Find your voice, find who you are, and how you're going to go about your writing journey. And that's going to change as life hits you in the face or hugs you. Just depends on the day, sometimes, week, month, year. It is up to you to figure out how best to write your books and how best to market your books and how best to find people to help you that will help you thrive in your own process. And I think Dear Writer, Are You Intuitive is a fantastic book to get you started. Thank you so much for watching my nonfiction book review. I just want to give a big shout out to Becca Syme. I have linked her YouTube down below, and she has a plethora of videos all about writing and writers, and they are free. You can do other things that are paid for, but she creates and lets out so much content for free. I don't even know if you need to pay for anything. And even like, I think her Patreon, where you get exclusive access to very specific things that are connected to the free items. I think it's like $1 or $5 a month. I'm not on Patreon, so I'm not 100% sure. I just know some other person is a patron of hers and she loves it and it's really cheap. So even if you need or want more from Becca, the price is not outlandish. But like I said, start with this book, start with her free content on her YouTube channel. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.